It looks like a great car. I haven't driven it yet, but maybe I'll get a shot someday.
There's an epiphany moment that occurs when you're driving this car, and you're going to realize that at this moment you're not polluting. You're not doing what 99% of the cars are doing around you, and it just feels good.
This is a great option to get me around town, but I'm not convinced it'll take care of my need for speed. So let's check back in with Tesla. I still need to get behind the wheel, but first, David's taking me back in time to see how it all started.
This historic relic is one of the early mules that Tesla had.
Hold on, a mule? What is a mule?
A mule is a hand-built concept car. And keep in mind that this was what Martin Eberhard used to get his early funding to get Tesla going. So it's a very important car from a historical standpoint.
So how did Tesla Motors get from this one mule to being on the verge of launching a sold-out fleet of sports cars? Turns out, there were a lot of prototypes in between, and they're giving me an insider's tour.
Let's take a look at our Aerobuck.
This thing here?
Yep. This is basically a full-scale model of the Roadster's body, and this is something that you would put inside of a wind tunnel to test for aerodynamic efficiency. And so what we do is it's made out of actually resin and pulp, and it's a full-scale mock-up of the car. And it's got every detail that would affect the aerodynamic drag of the finished vehicle. And in fact, if we step over here, you can see that we're able to test both with the top on as well as with the top off, because it is a Roadster.
Cool. So this is an exact replica of that car. And this is probably a pretty heavy piece here.
It is, but it's a wonderful display item to explain to people exactly how you go from a concept or what you see on a computer screen all the way to a finished vehicle like this.
Next, the Tesla engineers made a series of prototypes to test out on the street.
Jason, I got to tell you, we're standing in front of one of your cars. It looks like it's been through the ringer here. What's going on with this car?
It does look like that, though this car, I like to refer to it as the Millennium Falcon because it's one of our fastest cars, though it does look a little rough. It went through some very harsh testing in Europe, some ride and handling testing, specifically pave testing, which is extremely harsh cobblestone, very calibrated cobblestone testing.
What's fascinating here is we never get to see this part of the process. When you buy a car today, you drive it off the lot and you assume, hey, there it is. But here, we're seeing you build a car from the ground up.
I've been working on cars since I was 16 years old, and I'm still just amazed at how much it takes to build an automobile. It's a very complicated machine.
You and your team, you're pioneers. How do you feel about working on a car like this and what you're doing, not only now, but for the future?
I never dreamed that I could have the best of so many worlds. Sports cars, environmentally friendly, things like that.
You're changing the world.
Hope so.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to work. This thing needs some work, some repair. So, thanks a lot, Jason.
Meet some of the lucky folks who have a brand new Tesla Roadster in their future. Tesla Motors has set up events around the country so their customers can get a sneak peek. Today, they're in Newport Beach, California.
I was looking at other cars and, hybrids, and they just kind of put me to sleep, really, to be honest. I just wasn't impressed. So I was kind of going to shelve the idea, and then I saw the Tesla zero emissions, and I thought, here we go.
The majority of people who have come today are owners of the car who have not yet seen the car. They've all put deposits down, signed ownership contracts. So this is really their first experience seeing the car and riding in the car and really experiencing it.
That's my first drive. It won't be my last. It was fantastic. I love it.
So, what's the biggest draw for these fervent sports car fanatics?
That car handles like a sports car. And that's what I liked about it.
To be able to have that kind of fun and performance and know that you're not putting any exhaust fumes out there. I mean, it's really exciting. The quietness of it is kind of it's like being in a quiet jet plane where you're getting all that feel of the speed without the noise. I enjoyed it very much. We may order another one.
And if you're feeling like spending $100K on a car is a little out of your league, the Tesla team's thinking about that too.
So Tesla's goal is to grow the company into a full-fledged car company with cars that meet most people's needs. We start off at the high end with the Roadster. Our next car is designed to be a 5-seater sedan that will be able to be used for your family car every day and take trips with it and so on. it's one car at a time, taking as big a step as we could possibly take and survive before we can take the next step.
Finally, I've convinced David to let me experience the Roadster firsthand.
Wow. That's awesome.
This is it.
That's pretty... Did you turn the car on? Because I can't hear a thing. I love it already.
Riding in the Tesla is an experience like no other. It's gorgeous, virtually silent, and it accelerates like a dream, all without using any gas.
It drives like a regular car, although you know you're in a sports car. I'm low to the ground. This thing has so much power. I can feel you're not even close to pushing this.
No, not even close.
And you don't hear the rumbling of the engine.
You don't miss it, right?
I don't miss it at all. You know what I get here? I get the environment. I get the surroundings. I'm looking at this beautiful landscape, the water to my left. I don't think it gets any better than this. Sign me up. This is fantastic. And the thought that there are no emissions, it's good for the environment. I mean, you hear that car in front of us? Yep. Wasting gas, polluting the air. Wow.
Seeing as you're keen on all this top secret stuff, check this out.
Must be important.
David!